everyone, it's Hannah, and today I have another friendship bracelet video for you. This is once again a request from my friendship bracelet collection video, and it's for the Peruvian wave. Ooh, look how wavy it is. I decided to go with the pastel rainbow because I like rainbows and my hair is pastel at the minute. Basically, that was the logic. The Peruvian wave is a really easy bracelet to do. You only need to know how to do the forwards knots and the backwards knots, and it just creates this really nice wavy pattern. It's relatively quick to make. It's not one where you have to sit for hours to do it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the tutorial, shall we? So to make this bracelet, all you're going to need is your embroidery thread. Today I'm using 6 different colours, and you're going to use a thicker piece of thread. I've decided to use some yarn. You can't use anything that's too stiff. I've tried to use leather before and it just didn't work. So nothing that's too stiff, but that is what you're going to be knotting over. So it doesn't matter what colour it is. I forgot to say measurements of thread, didn't I? So what I measured, and it was approximately 25 centimetres too much, but I did 1 metre of each of the thread and then about ½ metre of the yarn. So like I said, it was about 25 centimetres too much, but as I say in every friendship bracelet video, I would much rather have too much than too little because it's difficult to add more. All I've done to start with is I've knotted all my threads and my yarn together, plaited them, knotted them again as I start most of my bracelets, and then I've laid them out like this with my yarn on one side and then my threads in the colour order that I want them to be. So it's really simple to do. The only knots you need to know to do is the forward knot and the backwards knot. If you don't know how to do that, check out my chevron video. I explain it in slow-mo there so you can learn from that one. So all I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to use each strand to tie a forward knot over my yarn. So I'm starting with the strand that's closest to my yarn, which for me is the purple, and tie a forwards knot. And remember, a forwards knot is consisted of 2 knots. You don't want to pull your thread too tight as you're knotting this, which is difficult for me. So then I'm taking the next one and tying a forwards knot. And then the next one. If you pull your threads too tightly, they will all go on top of each other where the loose part is here, and you don't want that. So try and keep it as loose as you can. So then all your threads are across to the side. I'll try and lay them out so they're in the same order again. Like so. So now they're in the reverse order as they were before. And then now what we're going to do, now all of our threads are over here, we are going to do backwards knots so they get back that way again. So once again, starting with the thread that's closest to my yarn, so for me that's the salmon pink colour, I'm going to do backwards knots. Once again, not pulling too tightly for the same reason as I said before. You don't want all your threads to go on top of each other, otherwise you won't get that nice effect with all the loose ones. I'll try it from this angle, see if it's any better. And so that's done. And then what we do is we do exactly the same as we did before. Forwards knots over our yarn, starting with the thread that is closest to it, which for me is the purple, and then tie all of the threads over the yarn in forwards knots. And then, once again, backwards knots over the yarn, starting with the closest thread to the yarn, which is the pinky colour. You can see by the knots that the wavy shape is happening. So this bracelet has a really cool effect and looks far better this way up to the other way up. As you can see, in the first couple I did, I pulled my knots too tightly, and then in the last few we've got nicer waves instead of zigzags. but that's the difference between pulling tightly and keeping it looser. But yes, just keep continuing to knot your bracelet until it's long enough to fit around your wrist, then knot it at the end, plait it and knot it again, and then it's ready to wear. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please feel free to give this video a big old thumbs up. Your support means an awful lot to me. Also, while you're down there, you may as well hit subscribe. I post 2 videos a week, one of them's on a Thursday and one of them's on a Sunday, so I'm always around. Throughout October, I've been doing spooky Sundays on a Sunday, making Halloween related things. There's only 2 more left though. No! And then I might have to start on Christmas themes. If you decide to make anything of your own using one of my tutorials, please feel free to post a picture of it on Instagram with the hashtag #TheCornerOfCraft. Not only am I on Instagram, but I'm also on various other social media, so I'll pop other links in the description box below, along with any other information that I think you might need. Thank you once again for watching, and I shall see you on Sunday for Spooky Sundays. Bye!